Welcome to Linux Overdose, episode 21. Today is June the 20th, 2016, and today's episode is going to be installing Arch onto your hard drive. So we're just going to go ahead and just get started. We're going to download Arch. Already got it downloaded, but I'm going to show you the location where always go to distrowatch.com, decide which distro I want, and I decided Arch, and then I just go to their website, which is archlinux.org, and to download it you just go under download and always download the torrent. So I just click here and download it. And right now it's this 2016.06.01, which I already have download. So which will be right here under my download folder, and there's Arch 16.0601 dual ISO. That's what I got download. So that's where I went to download Arch, and it's only let's see, go to properties here, and it's very small, 780.1 megabytes, because most of the stuff you're going to get is going to go through offline. So you should be online when you install Arch. So, and you will not be greeted with GUI other than the first when you boot up, you just see the menu, which is in the graphical mode. But after that, you're in like a console, virtual terminal, which we'll see that when we get it installed. So that's how you download it, and then we'll just go ahead and I'm gonna install it in a virtual box. And I got this fresh again because I deleted CentOS that was on here. So we'll just give it system the name, which is Arch. Next, and then the virtual memory will go about 4 gigabytes, and create default, and about 20.20 gigabytes create, and then there's our virtual machine created. Then we just go under settings, and we can I probably won't change much here like I usually do. I just unclick the floppy here, and I probably won't. I'll change to the internet here, the bridge adapter, which is Ether 0, and I probably won't change nothing else here. We'll put the Arch disk in this virtual machine. Right here it is. Press open, and then I'm ready. Press OK, and now I'm ready to boot off the live version of Arch. So press start, and this is what you'd be greeted with, and it was the 64 that I downloaded, so this is 64-bit, and I'm just going to press enter here because that's what I'm going to boot into. Of course, it's not big because you got to have the extras on the virtual box to make this bigger, which will be the guest edition CD, which I'll install after it gets installed here. So so you're greeted here. You have no mouse or nothing inside here. You just you're in Arch, the live version. And to find out what's actually on here, in the disk itself, well, I should just put more, is Pacman capital QE, and since I have no scroll bar or nothing, I gotta pipe in more, And how you pipe is a shift and the / key, unless you have the pipe key on your keyboard. Everybody's different. And then I press more, and this tells me this is the top is the first one that was that the programs that are on this disk. So this is what everything's on the disk, which you have completely you can completely get to it right now. It even has some man pages on here and stuff. So, and it has Nano, it has Vim, and it has, if I want to get to Nano, I just put Nano, and I'm in Nano. I got Vim or VI, so there's VI. I'm in VI right now, and to get out of it, it's just : and then Q for quit. I'm out of it. Then you got Vim. I'm in Vim now, and to get out, it's the same thing: : Q quit. I can start a Vim tutor if I want to learn how to use. I just press the down key here. Of course, you can use the JKL keys to go up and down, left and right. And then to exit out of this is the same thing: Q. It has a BC, which is like a calculator, so I can put like 2 plus 2, and it will give me the answer. 7 plus 1. Just like a calculator. And how to quit out of this, I think you just spell quit. And I'm out of that. And then you got MC, which is Midnight Commander, which is a file manager. So here's a file manager. Right now, default, I'm actually using the shell ZSH, so that's by default on the live version. And to quit out here, just F10, and then I can press lists, and there's an installment, and then of course I can read it if I want to. .txt, and then the pipe again, more. And now I can read the instructions how to install this. And it's pretty well detailed here. And then I can go CD for root. And then CD. And then lists. And then you got, all this stuff here. And I can go CD bin, and then I can go LS, and then pipe more. And these are the bin programs that's on here. So you can actually play around with this without even installing it. There's so you can do a lot of stuff like you normally would do in a terminal. Of course, only what's already installed, which you can go through here and see what's installed, and then just play around with it. And to end this, you just press Q, and then I can clear all this, and that's it. And the date, and the calendar. I mean, you got all the commands. I'm just using this, so if you just want to play around with the terminal, this is a quick way to do it with just this arch, and you got no graphical thing in your way or anything. But what I'm going to do now is check out my disk, fdisk list, just see what I have here. And we got the virtual, the 20.2 gigabyte, and it's SDA. So that's all I have to remember is that SDA. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and format the hard drive. And so far, I've been playing with some of them, the non-graphical partition programs, and so far I like the CF disk. It's real good, and I'm actually, to successfully install it and everything, I went ahead and pressed the DOS instead of the GPT. So to make this just easier to go through this process, I chose this in the virtual box. Now if I was doing it the other way, and plus my steps might be different to do it this way, but right now, just for a successful showing you how to do it, I'm going to do the label type of DOS. So and you can see that I got all this free space. You know, it's 20.2 gigabytes. And right now I'm going to create a new partition. So you can see I got these here, and plus you got help to read help. I'm going to press new, and then I actually want to add all I'm going to do is have a swap and a root partition on here. So this is going to be my root partition right here, and it's 20.2. I gave it what, 4 gigs. So so I'm gonna give it like 18. We'll just say 18.2 gigabyte. I can just put G and primary, and there I got my primary, and plus I want to make it bootable. So well, first I want to write to it. Well, first I gotta make it bootable, I guess. And then I also want to write to it, make sure, because that's what I want. And you always have to put yes here, not Y. You have to type yes to make the changes stick. So that's done. And then I go down here, press new, the rest of the space, which is just 2 gigabytes, and primary, and it's going to be my swap. So I'm going to go type, look for my swap, which is 82, and then write this, and then type in yes, Y-E-S, and then enter. And now I'm done. That's partition for root and swap. And then I just quit out of here. So I'm out of that. We'll go ahead and clear. And to check what I just did, just go F disk and then list L, and you can see that SDA1 is my root with 18.2 gigabyte, and it's bootable. And then my dev SDA2 is my swap, which is 2 gigabytes, which is just half of the RAM that was in the virtual box. So that's how I partition the hard drive. And now I want to format the hard drive here, the root. So I'm going to format it ext4, and of course it's going to ask me why I want to. So just remember, it's SDA1 is my root. So that's what I'm going to do here, and then press enter. And now I'm done. It's formatted in ext4. Alright, now I want to mount my root. My root partition drive now. So mount DEV SDA, and it's 1, and then just press and then space MENMT for mount, enter. So now I got that mounted. So now I want to make my swap. So it's just MK swap. And of course, where is my swap? And that's SDA. SDA2 is my swap. So and then press enter. And then I put swap on. DEV. And then SDA2. All right, I got that on. And now I'm wired, so I'm actually am online at this time. I guess you're online by default if you're wired. So, and I mean, to check it, I can just, ping anything. Google.com. And of course, it's just a loop, so I'm stuck here. And to end, anytime you lost control of your cursor and stuff, to get out of any program that you're in, usually the Control and C will get you out of anything. So anytime you cannot type nothing because it's doing it's doing something, to end it is Control and C, and you should be able to get out of anything. But you can see I was online. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the pack strap, PACSTRAP, which is to the mount, and then base and base develop. Those are things that you'll need to install just the basic part of the arch. So I'll just press enter, and now I'm installing all the pack straps, base and base develop, which is on the partition that I mounted. So that's what I've done so far. So we just wait here. I don't think it takes too long here. After this, we want to root the mount so we have completely control of the partition, so we can actually do stuff and be saved on the partition that we created. So, but we'll have to wait till this is done. And just installing, you can see everything on what it's installing. So that's why everything's going to be on the hard drive. And there's a lot more steps before we can reboot here. And after all that, Arch is actually installed. You just don't have a GUI yet. And I'm going to end my episode soon we get Arch on the hard drive. So I'm just going to this is just to get Arch on the hard drive, and this is, like I said, a virtual machine, and your steps might be different. You might want to partition your drive a little differently, but I always do when I do the GUI of any Linux, I just say whole hard drive and just let it do its thing, and it's usually a swap and a root, and that's it. I don't do a separate home or nothing like that. Reason why, I back up everything on my external hard drive. So to me, my external hard drive is my home, and I just leave everything on there. If I need access, I just plug it in. I have access. If I use it very often and don't want to always plug in my external, well, then I just put it on the hard drive and I'm done with it. But at least I know it's saved on my external. So I think it's almost done here, installing everything on the hard drive, the root partition that we created. It's even installed sudo, which is pretty decent. Alright, that's done right there. So the base and base development from the pack strap of Arch is installed on the partition. Like I said, now we need root control of of the partition. So it's arch ch root, and what I want control of is what has been mounted. So just /mnt, enter, and now from here I want to make a password for my root. So pass wd, enter, and then whatever my password for root I want. So, and that's been successful. Of course, you don't want to forget that. So you want to remember it. Either write it down or just memorize it. Anytime in a virtual machine, I use green. I mean, it's too simple. Of course, it's easy to hack and stuff, but I don't care. I'm in a virtual machine, and I don't do nothing in here other than just practice or have fun. And of course, that's not my primary password. It's very weak, and you don't want a weak one. You want a very strong password. So, but you also want to able to remember it. All right, now I'm going to do my language here, and I'm going to use Nano, which we already know that's been pre-installed, and you can use VI or Vim, which it's installed too. So go to /etc/locale .gen. Press enter, and then what I want to do here is find my language, and then I want to just uncomment out the languages. So which I'm going to do here, the USA. So these two right here, just uncomment. And I've been using the arrows here to uncomment, and then hit backspace to delete it. So there, and to save it is Control X, press enter, press Y for yes, and then you press enter to overwrite. So now that's done. But now we need to generate it. So locale.gen, and now it's generating my language, so English. All right, now we want to do the time zone. So we want to go to location where that's at, and I found some of this stuff, under Arch Beginners. So share zone info. This is the location you want to go to change your time zone, and then you just go list and see what's available, and of course US. So then I just go CD to US. So it's capital US. Everything's case sensitive in terminal. You gotta remember that. And then LS again. And of course I want to go East Indiana. So go back here, and I'm going to change the CD to LN-S, and then go to US, capital US, and East Indiana. And how I got to well, here, I'll go ahead and enter this first. Oh, I did something wrong. Do this space /etc and locale time. This is what I was trying to do here. All right, I got that done. My time zone is set. And how you get to your old commands is your up key or your down key. So it's just, you know, it's like your history of your commands. So that's what that is. That's how you get around. All right, now I want to create my username. So I'm going to do echo, and I always use gimcrack, which is just a funny jeweler's term, which means showy but worthless. That's what I always use. And then use the greater sign /etc, and then the host name. And I just changed the host name to gimcrack. So, but I'm still root. It's not my user name. So you gotta remember that. We have. I'm not gonna set the username. That might be the next episode. Press enter. So that's created. Now I want to create a Grub. So Pac-Man, capital S, Grub, BIOS. Then yes. So this is just creating a Grub. That's what I'm going to use as my bootloader. And now I've got to install it. So grub -install, and then where I'm going to install it. It'd be the drive, not the partitions, but the drive itself. And it's SDA. So press enter. And now Grub is being installed on the, let's see, no errors report. So everything's fine there. Now I want to configure have Grub. Let me see where I want to go here. No, I want to make the init file. So mkinitcpio-p Linux. So that makes the init file. And that's done. Now I want to make the Grub. The Grub config file. O for the flag. Boot. Grub. This is the location of your Grub. Grub.cfg. So this is making a config file of your Grub that I guess is default or something, or they're just setting it up for how it's set up here. So I'll just press enter and found fallback image. Okay, that's done. And now I can exit this, and then I can generate the fstab thing on here, because you gotta have that to be able to boot in here, into Linux. So the gen fstab space, which is the mnt greater mnt etc fstab, and press enter. Okay, that's generated. And then I just want to unmount the SDA, the partition. So unmount UMOUNT, and then what I want to unmount is just the mount, and then I just reboot. And of course it's the CDs in. But now I want to go to my existing OS, which is the new one that I installed. So instead have to take the CD out, which I could, or I can just boot here, which is this is Grub here. I'm greeted with Grub, and I just click on Arch. And root, password, and there. I got it's installed. It's on the hard drive, and then I can shut this down. Shut down. Capital P, and we just say now. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and take this out because I don't need the CD no more. Press OK, and then go ahead and reboot. Now it's just going to, there's no CD now. There's my Grub. And there. I'm in a TTY1 console, and it's installed on the virtual hard drive. Of course, I'm root. There's no user, so just root, and then my root password. And of course, I'll be making a user and a user password, which always use the same password in my systems. So it just won't be confusing. I just use the same password as a user on wherever I'm at. So there it is. Linux is installed on the hard drive. That's how, those are the steps I did to successfully install it. So, and that's it. I mean, that wasn't too hard. I had to make a lot of notes. I had to watch a lot of videos. I had to read the beginner's guide, and then I just make my notes and follow my notes, and you can see that I successfully install it. I can do this all the time with no problems in these simple steps. And of course, if you want to install a little differently, or of course I might have some problems when I go any further into this because I'm in a virtual machine, and I expect that. Hopefully I don't. But the next step will be I'll be doing the user, and then I'll be installing X, and then we'll decide which desktop I want, or window manager. I might just go window manager and not a GUI desktop environment, but I'll have X where I have access to all the GUI programs. So I'll just see how I'm gonna do that, and then to exit this again, it just shut down, capital P, and then now. That's how you do it in there. But you see how quick it boot up. Of course, I got nothing on there other than the basic stuff. So go ahead and end this here, and that's it. So I'll have part 2 to get it where you can actually use a browser or whatever, and then I'll probably just end the episode there, and you just figure everything out yourself through the Arch community, or just play around with it and get the way you want it. So Arch wasn't too hard to install. I couldn't remember all those. I guess if I kept doing that, I probably would remember all those commands and the locations where everything is. You just have to know some basic Linux, and I've been Linux for 13 years, so I'm not totally lost in a terminal whatsoever. And sometimes I don't understand what I'm typing 100%. I mean, I can take my time and go to the man pages, read up everything about it, but I don't have to know everything of what each command does. I just have to know where it's taking me, and it's going to work and give me no errors. That's basically all I need, just the basic knowledge. So and yes, I cannot remember all those commands. I would have to write them down, or open up a browser, and if I didn't take notes or I forget, So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed episode 21. If you got any questions, just message me or whatever, and I'll do a part 2 of this Arch Linux. Get at least a browser up and going, and then after that I'll probably do like Linux games. I do got Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, so I might start there, just show you what Linux gaming is like. I mean, it's great. I love Linux games. So, and I just download Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. Just got into it. I do like it. It was fun to play, and I'm still playing it. So my next episode after this Arch will be about gaming, not just Wasteland 2, but just all gaming. And so I'll go ahead and end this, and enjoy your day. And if you got any questions, just question me, or just wait for episode 21 part 2 of Arch to get a desktop or a window manager installed. I'll talk to you later. Bye.